Hi there, I'm Randy Cross, and this is the Randy Cross Podcast. This is Season 5, Episode 10. Pretty simple approach for you tonight. It's going to be my buddy Brian Jones from Inside College Football and the SEC Today. We're going to talk about a bunch of bowl games, kind of talk about a little bit about what's going on in the world of college football topically right now. And that'll be pretty much it. Little happy trails at the end, and then we'll just sign off. All right? So let's, no further delay. Let's get right to Brian Jones. All right, now, as promised, I'm joined now by Brian Jones, former UCLA / University of Texas linebacker, also various NFL teams, and one of the hosts of Inside College Football and the SEC Today. Brian, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
You got it, RC. Anything for you, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, real quick, for you on the commercial side, the good jerky. Talk about the good jerky. What is that?
My nephew, Quentin Crawford, and his wife, Lauren, they started this company a couple of years ago. They were looking for a healthy alternative snack. And with heart issues being an issue in our family lineage, they wanted something that they could snack on, which would be risk averse, if you will. And they started a salmon jerky company, and we have recently added trout to the product offering, and so that is the Good Jerky. You can go to thegoodjerky.com. It's pretty damn good. Randy has partaken, as have many at our CBS Sports Studios, and I love it. I'll say this: my favorite was the spicy barbecue. Now that we've added this additional SKU, the trout habanero, that's my go-to now, man. I love it. And it's growing like crazy.
Well, I'm an old trapper guy myself, so I'll have to try this. I
still like the old trapper. That's the beef side. You got to have a fish side as well, right?
That's right. That's right. Hey, let's talk about, from a news standpoint, some of the stuff going on in college football. And today, with the early signing period and whatnot, the story of the day was the fact that the number 2 recruit out of Collins Hill High School here right near where I'm at in Gwinnett County, big, long, good-looking cornerback. Gee, go figure. Some other big, long, good-looking quarterback named Sanders, coaching Jackson State. Deion Sanders flips the number 2 recruit in the country, which is a huge story. But when you do it to your alma mater, I think it gets a little bit bigger, don't you think?
Yeah, it grows exponentially when you usurp your alma mater as he did. I guess he's said, I've given enough to Florida State, right? So let me take from them. You're right, man. That was that dropped like it was seismic. Let's just say that to see him flip that young man, and of course we know what all is in play right now with NIL and the things you're allowed to offer these young men. More power to him and the others who are benefiting from this new collegiate landscape. But that was thunderous, man, for Deion to do that. But why wouldn't you want to hitch your wagon to a guy of Deion's ilk who can teach you how to become a pro and potentially get to that level where he lived and thrived in the NFL? So I think you're going to see more of that. You're seeing a lot more of these HBCUs following this path that Jackson State took with Deion Sanders. Of course, Eddie George there at Tennessee State. There was just recently another HBCU plucked a former NFL player. So these guys are going to have an opportunity from a coaching standpoint to now get in the game at the HBCU level and possibly ascend to the Power 5 level and maybe into the NFL. So it's a good proving ground, not only for these coaches and former players, but also for these current players now being able to work and be mentored under these former pros.
Yeah, it was Grambling, by the way. That was the other school. Yeah. Hey, early signing day. Is this the last time we're going to see it in this particular slot? I mean, doesn't it make a world of sense? I know Rick Neuheisel talks about this all the time. that it would make much more sense to push this just back. If you're not going to eliminate it, push it back closer to the actual signing day, because there are just too many moving parts now with NIL and everything else going on this time of the year. It makes for a very volcanic late November, early December.
Well, it's similar, or I should say not too dissimilar to what we're experiencing with the transfer portal and with the NIL, all these new things that have come online within this landscape. And this is just another iteration. So I think we're all trying to wrap our arms around this cataclysmic change that is ongoing within the collegiate sports world. So I'm fine with it. You went through the recruiting process. I went through it. Of course, it's nothing such as it is today, but it was still, it was hair pulling. I mean, to decide on which school you want to go to for a lot of us, maybe not you, Randy, but I think at some point, just like NIL, we will get a handle on this, and maybe further down the line. I have no problem with it. I know the coaches don't like it that much. I think if you push it back, now it's going to buttress up next to the original signing day there in February. If kids want to sign now, go ahead and put their name on that dotted line. I'm cool with it. I know the coaches are saying that it's costing them more money. And so I think you could imagine they would alleviate some of the stress heading into the February signing day.
Yeah, you think we're going to keep this whole transfer portal idea? Is that genie out of the bottle and it's going to be unfettered, kind of the way it is now? Because I tell you what, it's full contact karate as soon as the season's over.
It is amazing. It's free agency. It's straight up college free agency. You can contact these guys and talk to them. So, going back to what we were just discussing, recruiting never stops. It's ongoing year-round. Even though you have these certain dead periods and non-contact periods, it's ongoing, especially with this portal being just stacked with guys who couldn't find a home. And what exacerbated that were the COVID season and guys getting an extra year. So we're having a trickle-down effect, not only with the recruits, but guys staying on campus an extra year. Now these high school kids, they're not having as much access to universities as they once enjoyed because these rosters are so stacked.
All right, hey, let's go through a few of these bowl games. I mean, God knows there's enough.
What are we up to now? 40-something?
Yeah. They could easily cut these in half. In fact, I will. And just get your thoughts on some of these games. I mean, we've got South Carolina State and Jackson State. We're talking about Deion Sanders. They're playing in the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Where does that take place?
Because of Deion Sanders, that's got to be, more eyeballs for ABC, ESPN. I'm not sure where it's at.
Yep.
But it'll be a lot bigger than it was going to be.
Listen, he has brought notoriety to Jackson State. During the season, I was watching their games. I wanted to see what was happening, and he will continue to raise the profile of Jackson State. So you're correct. We're gonna tune in.
Yeah, they haven't had a profile like that since Walter Payton was there.
No doubt.
Here's one for you, BJ. UAB and BYU in the Radiance Technology Independence Bowl.
Radiance Technology Independence. They're in Shreveport.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Who do you like in that one?
I'm going to take BYU. They had a fabulous season, and I know you called some UAB games, and that big old running back they have, he was fun to watch. But I would take BYU in that ball game. Man, they own the Pac-12, which isn't saying much, I guess. But what a fabulous year by Kalani Sitake.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Yeah, McBride can go. He's a heck of a running back, but it's hard to go against BYU in that one. Here's a good one. It's the name kind of sucks, but it's the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Can you believe that's the actual name of the bowl?
No way.
Yes,
oh, wow.
And it's Utah State and Oregon State.
Oh, wow. Well, I was wrong on both of these teams heading into the final week of the season as far as Oregon State. Because they made the changes with the defensive coordinator playing great on defense. Then they go and play Oregon, and Oregon puts it on them. They kind of made it respectable there at the end. And Utah State, I did not see that coming, what they did in the Mountain West Conference Championship game versus San Diego State. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was impressive. I'm going to go with Oregon State now, though. I'm back with the Beavers.
Oregon State's got one of the better offensive lines in the country. They're a finalist in our buddy Aaron Taylor's Joe Moore Award.
I saw that. You're correct.
They are strong. Okay, here's one. Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
Okay.
So after all that, it's a little Dallas game.
Yeah.
It's going to be UTSA and San Diego State. Now I don't know how many people really know much about either one of these teams, but they're both really good. They both won 11, 12 games, didn't they?
Right, no doubt. And Sincere McCormick, the running back there at UTSA, is damn good, and it has been for the last couple of years. And they bounced back after not looking good versus North Texas up there in the Dallas area and up in Denton, and end up winning their last ball game versus Western Kentucky and then their conference championship game. So I'm gonna ride with the Road Runners, man.
Yeah, San Diego State's pretty good. That defense is really good. This game may not. San Diego State may not win, but there's not going to be a lot of points in this.
Well, their consistency has been at the quarterback position, and they have that excellent punter.
And then we got just ask Aaron Taylor, who thought he should win the Heisman. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, which is, if you're living in northern Florida, and I define northern Florida as anybody north of Gainesville.
Yeah.
This is UCF and Florida in this game, so it's a
home game for both.
Yeah, it's a great bowl game to get to play. I'm curious. I don't know who really should be favored in this game. Florida's been such a train wreck this year. It's hard to say UCF's going to be a lot more motivated, I would imagine. I just can't see Florida rallying after what they've been through.
No doubt. And I'm wondering if Greg Knox will stay on as interim coach throughout the bowl preparation, or will Billy Napier, get in there and say, all right, I got the keys to this car. You step aside. I would think you would roll with Knox, who has all the processes in place and knows that team intimately more than their new head coach. But UCF should be motivated to win this ball game. Gus Malzahn, is he off of his scaffolding? Is he down from that now? He can hang out on the sideline?
Yes, I believe he can. Yes. Now that he's tested negative and all that other fun stuff, and he's it's an interesting year for him, just in general. But UCF is pretty doggone good. I like them. Here's another good one here that I'm having a hard time reading. Jiminy. Oh, that's why. Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. It's Houston and Auburn. That's two good teams.
That is two very damn good teams.
Auburn's not going to have a quarterback.
Nor a running back.
Yeah.
How about that? I can't believe Tank Bigsby is jumping into the portal. I was at the College Football Hall of Fame, as you know, supporting Kenneth Sims from my alma mater, Texas, at AT. And I talked to Brian Harsin, and we discussed more. The discussion was more about his defensive coordinator hanging on to Derek Mason than it was his running back. I think we all imagined that Bo Nix, his time had run out there at his father's alma mater. But, man, losing Tank Bigsby, he's got the Hunter kid who played well, Jarquez Hunter. But, that's a huge loss. Houston had a pretty good rush defense heading into that Cincinnati game for the AAC championship. But didn't fare well, of course. I'm going to go with Auburn, man. The way that defense played, and I'm still shocked, man. I still cannot believe Auburn had 7 sacks versus Bama, and Georgia had 0. That's just amazing.
They won 58 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to skip over the Serve Pro first responder. That's Air Force in Louisville. You couldn't ask for 2 more, just a complete different ends of the spectrum with those football teams.
No doubt.
UCLA, North Carolina State in the Holiday Bowl. What in the heck happens there? I mean, is Chip leaving UCLA? Is he going to Oregon?
They got their man, Dan Lennox.
I know.
I know, but how about all those machinations and him even considering it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I'm going to go with the Bruins here. They're staying close to home. And the Holiday Bowl, when I was sideline reporter for UT, it seemed like every bowl season we were in San Diego for the Holiday Bowl. They do a hell of a job with that Holiday Bowl, man. So it's NC State, get ready to have a fun time. Great weather, of course. But I'm going to pick the Bruins. The Bruins.
Yeah, I didn't see UCLA too often this year, obviously, with our schedule. I saw NC State against North Carolina. That was a heck of a finish, the way they put that one on.
Oh, wow. No doubt.
Yeah. I'll go with the Bruins, too, but it's a reluctant I'll go with the Bruins. It's going to be a lot closer.
Got to play. What is it? Is it DTR or DRT? DTR. He's got to play better. But, what he did to SC, wow. Most points in the history of that rivalry.
Now, here's a good one. SMU is playing UVA. They're playing Virginia. Do you know the name of this bowl they play in Boston now?
The Fenway Bowl.
How about the Wasabi Fenway Bowl?
Wasabi?
Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
You would think it would be more, Yellowtail or
Sam Adams.
Lobster tail, Samuel Adams, right. They go with the wasabi. We're going to clean your palate. Listen, SMU's going up there?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Who are they playing
weather-wise, Virginia's got an advantage because they're at least used to that.
Well, here's two teams bringing in new coaches. Rhett Lashley, of course, left Miami. He's new head coach at SMU. I think he will assimilate a lot better into that offense than Tony Elliott taking over Virginia since Bronco Mendenhall stepped down. I'm going to go with SMU in that.
SMU. All right.
SMU.
How about the Cheez-It Bowl? Now, this is a Clemson going from the playoffs to the Cheez-It. But they're playing Iowa State, so it'd be one of those lookout bowl games for the Clemson Tigers and their fans. That's for sure.
Clemson defense was still top 5. I think top 3. Defense was dynamite. Yes, they lose Brennables. They're just gonna spring up another guy that's been on that staff. I think it's Wes something, who's gonna be the new DC. But defense balled out offensively. Yeah, they had their struggles. I'm going to take Clemson. Love Breece Hall. Set that record, consecutive rushing touchdowns in NCAA history. He's a beast, but they were so inconsistent there at Iowa State. And Brock Purdy, man, he just doesn't do it in these huge ball games. Over and over again, he's proven not to be effective, and I think Clemson comes to play.
Well, Oregon's going to play Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl. Well, actually, it's the Valero Alamo Bowl.
The Valero, man. Get that oil company in there. Come on.
Oregon and Oklahoma, speaking of oil.
Will I man Kayvon Thibodeau, will he play? I know he's already announced he's moving on.
I would imagine he's not going to play. And most of these top draft guys aren't playing in the bowl game.
Right, unless it's one of the playoff bowls. You're correct. I'm going to take Oklahoma then. I think Oklahoma wins this game with Caleb Williams and his proclivity to make some exciting plays. I think Oklahoma wins.
Boy, Michigan State and Pitt playing in the Music City Bowl, but now Pitt's going to be without Pickett. And
he's already announced he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that secondary for Michigan State, they got a shot then. You tell them they got a chance. They got a chance. They were woeful. I mean, they had more holes than a woodpecker's nest. That was just bad football on the back end. And Kenneth Walker III, the excellent running back who was snubbed from a Heisman visit, as was Will Anderson Jr. there at Alabama. I'm not sure Walker III is going to play. He battled an ankle injury, we've just learned, for the latter part of the season, so he may be out as well. But what a wonderful job Mel Tucker did with that football team, overhauled that roster in that aforementioned transfer portal, and the same for Pitt and what they were able to accomplish here. Pickett had an outstanding year.
Well, let's scooch all the way into New Year's Day, and there's some pretty good bowl games there. How about the Fiesta Bowl? It's going to be Notre Dame and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Spencer Sanders just doesn't do it. I was talking about Brock Purdy. How about Spencer Sanders in that Big 12 championship? 7 interceptions versus Baylor this year. 3 in the first game, which they were able to win. Defense stepped up, but not in this last one where he had 4 interceptions. I'm going with Notre Dame. They are reinvigorated with Marcus Freeman taking over. Now, I know they'll be without, their big safety there in the back end with Kyle Hamilton, who's going to the pros, and he was hurt anyway. I think Notre Dame wins that ball game.
How about the Sugar Bowl? That's going to be Ole Miss and Baylor.
Ole Miss and Baylor. The Shapen kid who stepped in for Gary Bohannon, he's shaping up to be the new quarterback there at Baylor. I think he may have just Wally Pip Bohannon. And they were fabulous versus Oklahoma State. That defense, strong and stout. But this is a different animal, as you know. That Ole Miss and the plays that Lane Kiffin can dial up, he's got your head spinning. I got to rock with the Rebels.
All right, let's make this easy. Let's go to the 2 semifinal games. Let's go Georgia and Michigan in the Orange Bowl. Who do you like there?
I think that's going to be the more competitive of the two. I'm going to go with Georgia. I just can't believe their defense. Well, I can't, because no one's had an answer for Jameson Williams. No one. And Bryce Young, he's so elusive and so smooth and cool. So he made them look like mere mortals. I'm not so sure that Michigan can do that. They want to play some power football, run right at you. That's right up Georgia's alley. So I go with the Bulldogs in that one. Bama and Cincy, I love me some Luke Fickell and the Bearcats, man. But this is a bridge too far.
This is real time big football, big boy stuff.
Yeah, I love that secondary. Gardner was a first-team All-American, #1 in that Cincinnati secondary. But I don't know anyone that can handle Jameson Williams, and I don't think they have the guys up front that can get to Bryce Young. He's such a cool customer. He's a quarterback. He's a point guard. He can utilize his legs as well. And their defense, look how well they played. And Desmond Ridder, as good as he is, he can be fickle, pun intended, at that quarterback position, but he's got a howitzer. If he's on point, and you have to be as a quarterback taking on Bama, you have to be on point. If he's on point, they may have a chance. And how about the storyline of the Ford kid, who was a Bama running back, transferred to Cincinnati? Now he gets to take on his former team. It's Bama all the way. I think we're going to have a rematch.
Yeah. I personally kind of hope that Bama beats their brakes off, just so we can stop hearing every year about. Well, it's sorry, it's not the same. I see lots of both. I see lots of both. It's not the same.
It is not the same.
So if in the rematch, who are you taking?
I got to take Bama. I'm never picking against Nick Saban again. And whatever he told them that week, I mean, every word is mother's milk because he had those guys ready to ball. And what did he say? It was yummy. All of us so-called experts picking them as underdogs in the ball game. And Stetson Bennett. He was the same Stetson Bennett that we saw last year there in Tuscaloosa in the second half. And that guy reemerged in the second half of this ball game. I thought there were moments where he could have taken off and made some nice gains with his legs. He was just hesitant. And I get it, man. It's easy from our vantage point. But go ball. And he just couldn't do it, and the mistakes got him in the end. You know, that Georgia defense in the second half, what, they give up 7 points? They gave up 7 points in the second half. You had to pick 6, and they gave up 7 points. So they found some way to stop Bama numerous times. I think there were 3 or 4 straight series. They got off the field, but the offense couldn't do anything. I'm picking Bama.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said people get tired of seeing the same old song and seeing the same old results. But, you know, if you don't like it, beat them.
Thank you. It's as simple as that.
Hey, DJ, thanks a lot, man. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy all this football. And thank you for another great year on Inside College Football.
My man, it is so much fun. I already miss you guys. I don't even know what to do around here. I'm yelling and cussing at the dogs. Like used to doing that to Randy and AG and Rick and Adam. I love you. We have too much fun and can't wait to do it again.
All right, man. Be well.
Okay, buddy. Appreciate you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, BJ. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it sort of tweaked you a little bit on some of those games. I know we went through an awful lot of them pretty fast, but it's one of the great things about this time of the year. There's no lacking for football games. Might be lacking for crowds, but there's no lacking for football games. Want to remind you where you found this podcast. As always, randycross.com is the best place to go. If you do go to YouTube, please like it, share it, spread it around. That goes for everywhere, but especially on YouTube. Go ahead and like it and subscribe to it. We'd really appreciate it. All right? Let's go out of here just the same way we do all the time, and that's with happy trails.